Welcome back everybody, Broadbent here. Today we are back in the forest, and today we're going to be doing some creative mode building. Now, I've been wanting to do a very special build for a while now, and that is an oil rig. I've had this build in my mind for about 2 months now, like halfway through season 1. Now, this is going to be a much larger, upscaled version of what I had in mind, and we're going to be building it right here. So if you haven't seen episode 1 of my creative builds, we went ahead and built this hanging base in the sinkhole. Really cool build. The link will be at the top right of the screen right now if you want to check it out. I would highly advise it because this is a one of a kind. So I originally thought of building it right here. I just changed my mind actually right now because this is going to be too big to fit in here. Honestly, this thing is going to be massive. So I'm going to choose a location that's just a bit further out. I think right in between these two islands right here is a good choice. So in order to do this, what we're going to have to do first of all is change our settings so that our ocean quality is flat. Now this is really important because now we have a perfectly flat surface everywhere. So I'm going to start off by placing this blueprint right here. This is a pretty close to a square, and this is going to tell us where to place our corner pillars. So we're going to line this up right here and then build. There we go. Now this is, yeah, it's going to be rather odd. These shapes are going to be really inconsistent. I might struggle with this one actually. So what I'm going to have to do here is build this one and then build it again on top of it. There we go. Same again for this one. Okay, so we've got these set up right here. I can go ahead and cancel the center one. Then we're left with the 4 pillars. Now these ones that are dipped underground, we're going to have to get those built. God, it sounds so good underwater. Just listen. So good. So now we can see. That's really good. I'm happy with that. There we go. Now this is where it gets difficult. We've got to go around and match. Actually, it's not that difficult. We can just go underwater, line it up, go up, left click, and then we don't have to go above water. We can just align them up underwater. Alright, so this one over here has a little bit of a thing sticking out there, so I'm going to probably rebuild that one. But let's build these other two. Okay, that one's almost identical to the one underneath it, so I'm going to go ahead and build this too. And boom, there we go. We have the supports. That took a long time. So the plan right now is pretty much to have a staircase in each of these, or maybe just in one. But what I'm going to do is place one of these on the inside right here, go all the way up, place it down. And that is how high we're going to make these legs. Because I think having a short one is a bit better than having one that's too tall, you know. So now we have to grab the walls and auto place all of these, which is going to take a while. What? No way. Let me just lower my sensitivity. Are you kidding? It's letting me play. What? How does that work? No way. I placed that blueprint from all the way over here. Wow. Okay, gonna cancel this one, finish off this, and then now we want to get the platform and go up as high as we can. That is looking pretty dandy. So then we can match that with a floor. I'm gonna build the floor first. Then if I grab the hole cutter, I'm gonna guess at here. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and build this. Let's get the rope and build it. Look at that. So we've come across another issue here. We need to build another platform just here so we can climb up again. There we go. So if we just turn off fly mode, we're a pretty long way up. So let's climb up. Make sure this all works fine and dandy. Make sure we're not going to clip into the floor. That is beautiful. Okay, so I went ahead and made all the pillars the same, so they've got this. Some don't have ropes on because I'm going to do that later on, because I'm going to be messing around with this a lot at the top. So all of these now are ready to go. Now, the main challenge with this build is getting it to overhang off the edge. If you look at any oil rig photo, or most of them anyway, they hang over the edge with these pillars. So the way we're going to achieve that, which I don't think I've seen anyone do before, is we're going to go down to the bottom, find the corner point on this one. So it's going to be this support right here. We're going to rotate it so it matches. Place that one. We're going to choose the same one again. Place that there. And then we're going to do that with all 4 corners. Okay, so all 4 of them now have these 2 wide platforms going out. So we can use that to build upwards. So if we just place a wall like this on each of them, like so, and then we build all of those up to the very top, like that. Oh boy, that took a while. So now comes the fancy part. We get the floor out, we find one of the pillars right here, get it on the edge of the main bit, bridge it out, take it to there, and then just create a point on all of these temporary supports right here. Now I'm not sure if you need this first point to be on these supports, these pillars. I just don't really want to risk it. I don't want to have to build this all again. So you'll understand in a second. So I just connect all these, place the last point right there, and then press E. So now that gap is almost invisible. And then we get this massive floor that's overhanging, right? And now comes the trick. I'm going to go ahead and build it. There we go. And now what we have to do is go ahead and destroy all of these. See that? Now this still hasn't fallen. Okay, so now all the supports have gone. You can see we have this massive overhang and nothing supporting it, which I don't think I've seen anyone do before. I'm not too sure, but I think this is a first. So don't worry about the holes that we've missed out. The, you know, right here, the gaps that we crawled through. Don't worry about those just yet. We're going to go around and do those later on. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is going to be really boring, just a bunch of rooms and stuff like that. No, this is not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is creating a thicker base. Now, it's not going to be this thick, it's going to be a bit smaller. And the way we're going to achieve that is by creating a floor. Like so, we're going to put the rocks on each of these. So you're probably thinking, what's the purpose of these rock walls? And that, my friend, is what you're going to find out in a second. So if we go ahead and build these, just the corner ones, that's all we need for now. What we can do is use a custom floor on this height right here. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and build all these. And now, instead of a gigantic wall, look what we have. We have a 3-high barrier. It's like a half wall, kind of. And looking out here towards the island looks so cool. So for the holes to climb up out of, it's going to look a little bit messy, but we can patch it up by using rock walls. And then we can get the staircase. So it's a little bit patchy, you know, you might have to jump on certain parts. But there's just purely that much to do in this build, I can't spend 20 minutes on one small hole. Okay, so I've gone ahead and built all the entrances to the main floor. Some of them look a little bit patchy, like this one here, for example, and this one. But the rest are pretty good, like this, looking really tight and just quite tidy. They said that the planks are in the wrong orientation, you've got to give me some credit, it's difficult. So for the main part right here, we are going to go with a 3x3 design. Okay, so that's going to be the center. It's ever so slightly off, but that's, for the most part, pretty good for this build. And it's going to be viewed from the distance most of the time, and when you're even up close, you're not going to notice that little difference. So what we're going to do here is grab the pillar and build one halfway out on each segment split, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I've gone ahead and set up all of these pillars right here. Now, it's just kind of a space filler, these pillars, for now. But what they're going to do is support the second floor. There we go. Wow, that was loud. So this is the fun part. We get to customize the entire floor. So we're going to start off with the point here, bridge across to here. Then we're going to go in one, go across, and then back out. So this will be cut out as well. Gonna go out 2, in 1, and then back in. And there we are. I'm pretty happy with that design right here. So we've just got a few squares cut out, so to speak. Let's go ahead and get this done. Looking pretty good. We're gonna auto place these walls for now, because what we're gonna do here is make them different rooms. So this, for example, is gonna cut off here. So this is gonna be a room. So is that one. So these little connectors right here, I'm gonna remove them. So if I go up to the top, you can see starting to look like cabins, Put a window in here and here. Not too many windows, because we do need solid walls. There we go. That's looking really nice. So let's go ahead and finish this floor while we're here. I'm not going to be doing any sort of decoration in this, purely because of the scale of the build. It would take me a little bit too long to do that. So the way up, I'm actually going to make right here. Purely because it's going to have a lot of headroom. This is going to be a too high open gap. There we go. Pretty nice. Okay, first floor done. We've got a way up. We've got all the barricades. Sorry, the barriers. Barricades. So the first floor is done. We've got the main area right here, the working area. Then we're going to have some offices up top here. We've got the staircase going up with all the fences. Now, for this next floor, we can use these supports. Place a point here, and we can bridge it across, look. Now, yeah, this is going to be a bit dodgy with that, but that's really weird, actually. There we go, we've got that one set. I have successfully figured out how to make oil rigs. All you have to do is make them look complicated. If you ever look at an oil rig, they just look messy and unorganized. Okay, the second floor is done. I'm thinking about a helipad. I don't really know where that would go, but I really like the idea of it. I also just noticed these edges that need to be gone. If I can get rid of them anyway. I don't think I can. Triggered. Okay. Let's get these roofs built. Now, I really want to start morphing the shape on the outside here. So we're going to move things around on the faces of them. Look at that. It's coming along nicely. It's taking a lot of work. Floor by floor, though. Just making it a bit more random. I'm probably going to connect these two now. It's really difficult making it look natural rather than like it's been planned. That term doesn't really make sense in an oil rig, but you get what I'm saying. So most of this is getting built, like, really quick, and I'm just throwing it together. There's not really much to say over it. It's really looking good, and I want to just finalize it. This height is kind of good now, so I'm just going to build a few top-tier rooms, try and narrow it down a little bit on the roof, and then leave it as that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this thing is done now. Looking pretty beefy, if we go ahead and look from down below. Looks a little bit shy on certain areas, but from certain angles like this, it does look really good. Looks really busy and populated. So I've added a bunch of fences on the top just to show that this is finalized. It's health and safety gone mad. And overall, this build is really good. It's very bare bones. I didn't add any furniture or anything like that. I just purely don't have the time for it. I just wanted to kind of nail the concept and get it looking good. And to be honest, I think I've done that. Just take a look at this. So as if we're sailing up to it right now, this thing, it looks so big from down here. Getting into it is very simple indeed. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap my settings up real quick. There we go, just to make it look a bit better. And when you get closer and closer, everything starts to render in. Looking a little bit better. This is phenomenal. I really like the overhang. It just looks so good. Before I was thinking that I didn't really need it, but I wouldn't build it any other way if I were to do it again now. We're almost coming up to one of the legs now. The scale, I think, is really good. I think that's perfect scale. Almost at the entrance here. So what we do, just stop it here, press E, and walk forwards. It's that simple. Now, I think I'm missing a few ropes for this one right here. No worries though, we can just add it. I really like this open flat area and the fact that you can just look out like this. It just looks so good, especially looking towards the island. Like, just look at that. It's this barricade, it just works so well. Tempted to use this in some other builds, actually. This thing just feels massive when you're looking out that way. And you look back. Love it. So we've got the staircase here leading up to the second floor. Or technically the first floor, that's the ground floor, isn't it? So, unfortunately, there's no other way to get up to the next levels. I didn't really think about that. I haven't added a staircase or anything like that. But this scale is perfect. You could build this in survival if you wanted to. And have different, like, these are almost like offices, but you could have these for different items and storage, and it looks so good. I am really, really, really proud of this. It's a little bit messy and rough on the edges, I do know that, but it's mainly just to nail the concept and give you guys some fresh ideas. Just went to the top here, taking a look out. God, it's so different from things like that you normally see in the forest. I think we can pop down to the layer below us. I don't think this actually goes anywhere, this one. There we go. Check out this one. This is just another empty office. See if we can get to the floor below. There we go. Oh, 2 floor belows. And then this is coming probably towards more of the workers' homes, kind of, you know, the places where they sleep. And this whole thing just feels complicated. Alright everyone, so I'm not going to bore you anymore with just looking around and admiring it, but overall, I'm really happy with this build. If you are too, make sure to leave a like on the video. If you've got any building ideas for this creative series, make sure to post them in the comments below. Wow, honestly, what an episode. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.